Uh-oh, Vic must be home. Traveling Vic. You did great, Ballard. Hey, Colby, less than 4 weeks until the Slob softball game. That came up quick, didn't it? Yeah, hope you do roll up on us, man. Yeah, Ballard, that's a good question by D. Taylor. You know what? I never even noticed that. I didn't even notice that until D said something. Maybe it was already taken. I doubt it. What's up, X-Wing? Sam, Ben and Sam. I don't know if it's Ben or Sam on there, but anyway. Yeah, that video was hilarious. Well, I guess both videos he did were hilarious. All right, you guys ready to get started? Give me like 30 seconds here. A cheesehead in Oklahoma, Texas Savage. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Yes, get rid of that. And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Midday Show. Happy Monday. I'm your host, PigskinPeete. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I'm looking forward to a great midday show today. I was just thinking about it. So I think when's the 4th of July? It's next week. I know that. I think it's Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. So that shouldn't affect the midday show next week because I don't do a midday show on Tuesdays. And I guess the only thing it could affect is the ACC show, and I'll get with Sea-Dog on that. What I had planned to do this morning is check in with Edward over on Rumble, which here's what we'll do. Here's the thing. What I wanted to do was every Monday, like, do an Edward update because he's kicked off of YouTube, which he could easily start another YouTube channel. I don't know why he hasn't. But anyway, he's over on Rumble. Since nobody seems to want to follow Edward over to Rumble, I took one for the team, and I signed up for a Rumble account. When did I do that? I think I did it live on the Lunch Money Show last Monday, so exactly a week ago. With the idea of we can check in with Edward, and this way you guys don't have to waste your time signing up for Rumble. You can just, I'll be the go-between between everybody in the community and Edward's, the Trash Talkers Rumble shows. So I did log on there this morning, which is the first time I've logged on to it since I made the account last Monday. And unfortunately, he's only got one video up there. Let's look at it real quick. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this week anyway, because there's just not a lot to talk about. But actually, I was a little bit surprised at how many views he has on this. I thought it would have been like 3. How many? He's got 11 followers. So... he's got 11 followers, but according to this, I think this was, hell, I don't even know how Rumble works, okay? I'm assuming it's the eyeball is views, right? Of course. 89 views and 3 comments, 4 thumbs up. And this is a 2-hour and 10-minute show that he did, but look who it is. Look, it's my best friend. This guy right here. Mike. It's our favorite. What is he? Is he German or Russian? I don't know. He's one of those Eastern European countries. I don't know. Does anybody remember where Mike's nationality is from? He's somewhere in Europe. I can't remember where, and he's got the accent too. Good old Mike. So, yeah, that guy hates me. Anyway, so that's the update on Edward. Clearly, we're not going to sit here and watch 2 hours and 10 minutes of a live stream from Edward. But am I following him? I don't even know. How do I follow somebody? Let me see here. Let's try to get this thing done. I think I might be following him. But the weird thing was, it was hard for me to find him. I typed in up here in the search bar here. I'll show you. I typed in Edward the Trash Talker, Edward, one word, the one word, trash, one word, talker, one word, like the English language. And it didn't come up. It said no results found. So the only way to find Edward is to type in Edward the Trash Talker, all one word. So, look, if the people at Rumble are listening, I don't know much about your platform, but I could tell you, that you could type in PigskinPeete in the YouTube search bar in virtually any configuration or spelling, and it will find me. It will find me. So you need to repair your search system if you care, which you probably don't. So anyway, that'll be it. Every Monday we'll check in with Edward and see what he's done and what he hasn't done. But something tells me that they were live streaming for 2 people. And they were probably them 2 and 1 other person. I don't know where the other 77 views came from. 86 views came from. But my guess is it was just people strolling through this Rumble timeline and clicked on it for 2 seconds and saw what was going on and then clicked off. You know what I mean? Let's see what the comments are on the video real quick before we move on. How do you read the comments? Okay. Oh, here's the comments right here. Joey Faye Saunders commented on the video and said, "Hey, what's up? You the guy who live streams people pulling their nuts out? Cool." Critical Mass Mike. That must be Mike. You know, our buddy Mike. He says, "'Twas good being on with you." So yeah, that was him. That's Mike. So one of the comments is the guy that was actually on the video. And Todd Goldfinger commented and said, "Rock on, Edward." So you have 2 channels on here? What? What's he talking about? He has 2 channels on here? I don't know what that guy's talking about. As far as I know, there's only one Edward Trash Talker channel on Rumble. Anyway, just stay tuned into the Midday Show every Monday at 11 a.m. and you'll get your update on what's going on in the world of Edward Rumble. All right. All right. In the meantime, though, yesterday on the Bad Bitch Fuel show, which for those of you who don't know, that's Battle Angels show that she does every single Sunday. I believe it's 6 p.m. now. I don't know who brought up the Las Vegas thing, but it gave me an idea. I said, "Now look," I said, "I want to take a guys trip next spring or whenever we can do it." There's so many different so much shit going on. We keep adding events every year. It's like a monthly type deal or something now. So I know it gets to a point where it's not affordable. Or practical even. But I would, in lieu of, in IU, in lieu of taking a trip to Cherokee one time, it'd be very easy to take a 3-day trip or a 4-day trip or whatever to Las Vegas. I proposed the idea of an all-guys trip. I don't think Battle Angel was too happy with that. Well, she said she wasn't too happy with that. But then that got me thinking. That's an Uncle Lou problem, not a Pigskin Pete problem. So I don't know. If we can get 3 or 4 guys at least, hell, I wouldn't even care if it was just one other guy. Sir UGA said he would go with me. We can get a few guys together and plan it and go for a few days. You know. And if Uncle Lou can get permission, maybe he'll show up too. I don't know. But again, that's not a Pigskin Pete problem. That's an Uncle Lou problem because Mrs. Pete said she didn't care. Now, to be fair to Battle Angel, me and Mrs. Pete have been to Las Vegas together twice now. She is not as big a fan of Vegas as I am. Not that she doesn't like it, but I like it a lot more than she does. And so I remember specifically, we went last October for a few days because she had a work function there. So it was like a conference she had to go to. So I tagged along with her. Anyway, I did tell her when we were leaving there, I said, the next time that I come, it's going to be with a group of guys. And she said, that's fine. So I'm going to take her up on that offer. So anybody, I know Zona Man was on there yesterday. He lives obviously in Arizona, so he's not far from Vegas. He said he loves Vegas. He would show up. Sir UGA said he would show up. I'm sure Colby probably would come. You know. So that's 3 people right there, and me. That's 4 people, and I'm sure we could probably get a couple more to come. So all of you guys start thinking about that so we can. I don't really know when we do it. You've got the Slob Olympics in Panama City the very first week of March. What's the dates for that? Let me see if I can find my flyer. Here it is. Yeah, March 1st through 3rd. So that's the very first week of March, or weekend of March. So I guess it would have to be in April or possibly May. And the only other option will be to move it up to February. I don't know how many people will be able to get away for a few days in February and then turn around and do it right the first week of March, because it's another destination type thing. But we could talk about it. We could talk about it. Going actually in the winter months or early spring months to Las Vegas or in the fall is actually good anyway, because so it won't be so hot. It'll still be very warm, probably 80 degrees every day. It will get cold at night. You know, it's in the desert, so the temperature will drop 30 degrees, 40 degrees from daytime to nighttime. But at least during the daytime, it won't be 118 degrees every day. You know what I mean? The summer in Vegas, I don't think is as fun if, you know, well, depending on what you want to do. If you want to hole yourself up in a casino for 24 hours a day and not go outside, that's one thing. But that's not what I do when I go to Vegas. I like to move around, explore. You know what I mean? I like to explore. And that involves walking, a lot of walking. So, anyway. I feel like that's all the announcements this morning. Let's see who's in here. Where are we at here? Here we are. Cheers to the chat. Yeah, I feel like that's all the announcements I have. And if anything else comes to me, I'll try to remember to tell you. In the meantime, we'll get to the chat right now, and then we'll open up the Yahoo News, and we'll read the news. And of course, after that's over, somewhere around 12 o'clock p.m., I will open up the StreamYard and see who wants to come on. Oh, yeah. For those of you who didn't see the call-in show on Friday night, I'm sure most of you probably did. But yeah, so Volusia came down this week. Well, he's still in the States. He's in Daytona right now. I don't know exactly what day he goes back. I think he goes back to China either tomorrow or Wednesday, I think. He said he was going to be in Daytona for 3 or 4 days, and that was 2 days ago. So yeah, he flies back to China either tomorrow or Wednesday. But he did swing through Charleston, and unfortunately, just because of the timing of everything, I didn't get to spend as much time with him as I would have liked to, but at least I did get to see him for a couple of hours. We went out and had a beer together and something to eat on Friday night. So I'm sure once he gets back in China, he can come back on the show and tell you all about his venture. He went all over the damn place. At the time that we had met, he'd already been to New Hampshire, Rhode Island, New York City, Boston. Where else did he go? I can't remember if he said he went to Washington or not, D.C. I can't remember if he went to Washington or not. Then he came down to a town called Florence, South Carolina, in the upstate to visit one of his friend, I think it's like his old college roommate at Clemson. Then he came down to Charleston for a couple of days, and then he went down to Daytona. So he went all over the place in a short period of time. And I'll let him tell some of the stories that he told me about his ordeal traveling from China to the U.S. and renting a car once he got here. It's a pretty funny story. Well, it's not funny. I'm sure it wasn't funny at the time because it was a pain in the ass. But now that we can look back on it and laugh at him, you know what I mean? One of those type of things. All right, let's see who's in here. Matt Dummett's in here. Goose Sports VicTube is back. He's a world traveler. I don't even remember where he went. Oh, I think he went to Atlantic City or something. Maybe he went to some other, Philadelphia. I don't know, maybe Vic can come on later and give us an update on his trip. I'd like to hear about it. I know he does have some vlogs out there that shows some of the places that he went. I don't think I saw, the only one I think I saw was where he was playing a slot machine at some casino in Atlantic City, and he bamboozled everybody on the video. Right? So he puts $5 in this machine. It's a $5 bill. He spins it 6 or 7 or 8 times or whatever. And then he goes, oh, I just won. He goes, I just won, so I'm going to cash out. So he does. He pushes a little cash out button. It prints out the slip. He holds up the slip. The slip says $2.50. That's not winning, sir. That's a loser. You lost $2.50. You know that, right? I was like, good for Vic. He just doubled his money on a slot machine. And then he held it up to the camera, and to my dismay and disappointment, he lost money. So that was no good. That was no good at all. What's up, Ballard? Colby, the Nature Boy. D. Taylor. Exploring with Ben and Sam. A Cheesehead in Oklahoma. Jeremy Garrettson. A Cheesehead in Oklahoma. That's a hell of a name there. That's a hell of a name. There's Zona, man. Zona said he'd be down to go. Jay Shipes. I bet Jay would go. Rick Sanchez. Oh, Sweden. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Yeah, he's going back to talking about Mike, Mike from the Edwards Show. He's from Sweden. That's right. Mike doesn't believe in brushing your teeth with fluoride, which is the reason that his teeth are basically translucent. Because he's on the Alex Jones kick where if you brush your teeth with fluoride, then it makes you stupid. That's what he thinks. So, there's that. Where are we at here? Scott Kerr. Deuce Bigelow's an amazing movie. Here's Battle Angel. I think that's it. All right. Let's see what can depress us today with the news.
Breaking news from the PigskinPeete YouTube channel.
I must have missed Ram Dog somehow. What's up, Ram Dog? He's in here too. I hear this damn theme song right here in my sleep. I'm not even kidding. Is this a serious question? Why do so many Americans keep dying in traffic accidents? The reason's pretty obvious. I like how, well, now this isn't funny, because clearly that looks like a car with somebody probably didn't survive that crash. Look at that, Jesus Christ. But anyway, look at the store. Premium CBD, top vapes, finest kratom. You know, this is one of those smoke shops / legal drugs stores that are everywhere now. They're everywhere. They're everywhere around here. I think I saw about 10 million of them when we went to Tennessee. There's a million of them up in North Carolina and Virginia. Anyway, the United States has the most traffic deaths per capita of any developed country. In 2020, the coronavirus reduced road deaths worldwide because people were forced to stay at home. But the U.S. bucked that trend and saw rising traffic deaths, which spiked to a 16-year high in 2021 before a modest decrease in 2022. Quote, unquote, we face a crisis here in America. White House press secretary told Yahoo News last month, pointing out that the number of people who died on the roads each year is 42,795 in 2022 is comparable to the number killed by guns, 48,830 in 2021. Now, you want to talk about comparing apples to oranges. Okay. The number killed by guns. What number is that? Is that how many of those are justifiable self-defense? How many of those are police shooting people? How many of those are gun by suicide? So when you eliminate all those things and you talk about gun crime deaths, murder, that number reduced drastically. Drastically. But anyway, we won't get into that. You guys know where I'm going with that. But of course, anyway, as with gun violence, the United States stands apart from peer nations in Europe and East Asia. Americans drive more, which leads to more crashes on roads that facilitate unsafe driving. Here's one thing I will say about the States compared to every other developed country in the world. Our public transit system as a nation is pretty much a fucking joke, right? I mean, outside of a couple of big cities like, that have sufficient subway, railway systems. These people, this article is exactly right when they say there's very few places that you can live in the States geographically where you can get through without a car. You know what I mean? And that's just not the case everywhere else. So that's one main reason why we have a lot more traffic deaths is because we have a lot more drivers. And there's a lot more cars on the road in general than everywhere else. On average, Americans drive more than twice as many miles as the French, more than 3 times as many as the Japanese, and far more than even the residents of neighboring Canada, and have many more road deaths per capita in comparison to Germany and the UK. Other countries have prioritized road safety through measures like lower speed limits, protected bike lanes. They tend to have much better commuting and long-distance train networks, which is what I just said. President Biden is a train guy himself. Train guy? No, okay. And vowed to improve Amtrak's performance. When did he vow to do that? And what steps is he taking at doing it? It's a bunch of bullshit, what that is. But his signature legislative achievements, the bipartisan infrastructure law and Inflation Reduction Act, spend billions of dollars repairing roads and making electric vehicles more accessible. And funding the Ukraine war. There's that too. All right, let's get out of here with that. Bottom line is, Americans drive a lot more than everybody else. So more people die. You're welcome. This is a good question. When wealthy adventurers take huge risks, who should pay for the rescue? I don't know. This is a weird question, the way that they phrase that. Let's read the article first, but I don't believe in punishing people because they're rich. Like, in other words, if it's a poor person that needs rescued, then you don't care if they pay for it. But if they're rich, you want them to pay for it. Anyway, when millionaire Steve Fawcett's plane went missing over the Nevada range in 2007, the swashbuckling adventurer had already been the subject of 2 prior emergency rescue operations, thousands of miles apart. And that prompted a prickly question. After a sweeping search for the wealthy risk taker ended, who should foot the bill? I mean, it's like any other thing. I mean, if the police have to spend money investigating a crime, is that the person? I mean, I don't understand how much money you has to do with anything. It's a public service. They pay for it by paying taxes. In recent days, the massive hunt for a submersible vehicle lost in the North Atlantic, we all know about that, the Titanic deal. And with rescuers and the public fixated first on saving and then mourning these aboard, has began I don't like the way this article is written. I'll tell you that right now. There are many people who are going to say, why should the society spend money on the rescue effort if these people are wealthy enough to be able to engage in these risky activities? There you go. There you have it. There you have it. Nobody should have to pay for a public service except for if you're rich. Because that makes sense. The U.S. Coast Guard declined Friday to provide a cost estimate for its efforts to locate the Titan. The submersible investigators say imploded not far from the world's most famous shipwreck. The 5 people lost included billionaire British businessmen and a father and son from Pakistan, which I don't know if you guys heard the story about that. The father and son, the one guy was a billionaire, the father. The son was 19 years old. He didn't even want to go in the damn submersible. He did it to make daddy proud. Feel bad for him. We cannot attribute a monetary value to search and rescue cases as the Coast Guard does not associate cost with saving a life. And you shouldn't. Thank you. That's the point. While the Coast Guard's cost for the mission is likely to run into the millions of dollars, it is generally prohibited by federal law from collecting reimbursement. Well, there you go. It should be. What's the United States Coast Guard funded by? Yeah. Taxes. You know, people want to charge rich people, certain people want to make wealthy people pay a larger percentage of tax than a middle class person would. And then now on top of that, they want them to have to pay if they get in trouble for the Coast Guard to save them. Yeah, I disagree with that on principle. Shark attack video in Florida Everglades shows a man being bitten and pulled from the boat. What? They better show the video. Here it is. Oh, shit. Let's watch that again. Oh, shit. That looked like a bull shark or something. Wow. Now, the question I have is, because clearly they're fishing, I guess maybe he didn't even see the shark. Yeah, it looks like he was reaching down into the, over the side of the boat into the water to retrieve whatever fish they just caught. And I guess as soon as he stuck his hand down there, there was a shark there, and it bit his hand trying to get the fish, probably. That's what it looks like to me. He says, ah! Ooh, shit. I don't know why I don't know why it's funny to me. I don't know why it's funny to me. Getting bitten by a shark is nothing to laugh at. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's the way the noise that he makes and the way that he falls in the water is what's funny about it. I mean, I could watch this all fucking day, man. Well, anyway, it looks like he's okay. So that's good. This wasn't. I don't think he lost his arm or or anything like that. He's okay. Thank you, description, for the super chat. Need relationship advice. While on a date with a new girl, things went well. We went back to her place. Things progressed, and I ended up sticking my hand down her pants, and it was like feeding a horse. Yeah, that's the advice I'm giving you right there. That's it. I don't even know. You said you needed some advice, but then you didn't even ask me anything. You just told me what happened. What's the second part of that? My advice would be is not to see that woman again. How about that? All right, well, let's see what we saw the video, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time reading this, but I am curious exactly if my theory was correct, the theory of he was reaching in to reach a fish. Because look, if he knew the shark was there and he's reaching down to fuck with it, then he deserves to get bit. That's just all there is to that. Let's see what they say. A video appeared to show a man being bitten and dragged out of his fishing boat on Friday by a shark while in the Florida Everglades. The video was shared with blah, blah, blah in southeastern Florida, shows what appears to be a fisherman dipping his hands near a partially submerged shark before the predatory fish lunged at the man, causing him to fall in the water. So according to the way that reads, it does sound like that he did know the shark was there and still decided to stick his hand down there. He was treated for a hand injury, blah, blah, blah. It's unclear which species of shark bit the man. I guarantee it was a bull shark. But one species of shark is known to inhabit the Everglades is the bull shark. Thank you. A mid-sized predatory shark that can inhabit both freshwater and saltwater. Bull sharks are often considered to be the most dangerous sharks on humans because of their aggressive tendencies. Yes, that's all true. Yeah, you don't want to, if you don't want to come in contact, well, most likely with any shark, right? But you definitely don't want to come in contact with a bull shark, because if you do come in contact with you, the chances that it's going to bite you or attempt to bite you is very high. Where a lot of other types of sharks will probably just leave you alone. They won't. You guys ever see that video on, when Shark Week comes up every year? That's going to be coming up soon. Isn't it usually in July or June? Well, it's the end of June now. I think it's next month. I think Shark Week is in July, right? Anyway, there's a video of a guy on there. He's one of the shark experts. And they're standing, I don't know, I think they're somewhere in Florida. It's somewhere where the water's crystal clear. And they're standing up to maybe knee-deep water, thigh-deep water. And there's a bunch of bull sharks swimming around in there. And he's out there talking to, and saying, look at the bull shark. They're talking about the bull shark, right? Like an education type thing. And one just swims right up to him. Again, knee-deep water, swims right up to him and just grabs a hold of his Achilles, like the back of his, the back of his leg, like back of his lower leg, like where his Achilles is, and just starts shaking. I think it severed his Achilles tendon. I know it fucked him up pretty bad. But my thought on that was, this guy's an expert on bull sharks, but he's still willing to get in there with them. I mean, I could probably find that video on YouTube. My dad was a famous alien abductee. I thought he was a joke. Now I'm not sure. Here we go, bro. He looks honest. I believe him. Oh. The author's father, circa 1981. There is one video available on the internet concerning my father, says Patrick McGuire. It's strange. Uploaded to YouTube 15 years ago, though clearly recorded much earlier. The video frames another TV screen. There's a constant static. And the image is fractured as it broadcasts from far away. Of course, it's always fractured pictures. My father is discussing cattle mutilations under hypnosis. We come up on a cow that was dead. They cut the nose off, tongues out, and the sex organs were gone. He recounts, though he's sleepwalking through a nightmare. He then goes on to describe in great detail a spaceship that landed on his ranch, took members of his herd, one comment below the video reads, having lived and worked with cowmen, can you imagine that this guy going to town after this got out publicly? I mean, they are a finicky bunch to say the least. It's just like in the movie Independence Day. You know, you remember when the guy he like walked into the diner and he talked about how he was abducted by aliens 20 years ago, whatever, and all the guys are sitting there making fun of him. They're like, "Hey, what did they say to him? Something about getting anally probed." On May 14, 2009, my father passed away in Colorado due to cancer. He was 67. I did not speak to him before he died. His last years were spent in homelessness, though he hadn't always lived that way. His last words, so I heard, were about grand conspiracies and sinister deep states, though he hadn't always spoken about such topics. Yeah, I don't know what the point of the story is. Sounds to me like his father was a little bit nutty, you know? And now that his father's dead, he's trying to profit off of his dad's conspiracy theories by writing a book about it. Even though he openly admits he didn't talk to his father when he was alive, but now that he's dead, he's gonna try to make some money off of his name. Sounds like a great kid. Oh yeah, sorry. Freight train carrying hot asphalt, molten sulfur plunges into the Yellowstone River as the bridge fails. Oh, that's great. Perfect. Weren't we just talking about trains and infrastructure? Now this story here involves both. Trains and infrastructure. A bridge that crosses the Yellowstone River in Montana collapsed early Saturday morning, plunging portions of a freight train carrying hazardous materials into the rushing water below. That's good. The train cars were carrying hot asphalt and molten sulfur. Officials shut down the drinking water intakes downstream while they evaluated the danger after 6 a.m. accident. The train crew was safe and no injuries were reported. That's good. That was my first thought is, did somebody die? Sounds like that didn't happen. The asphalt and the sulfur both solidify quickly when exposed to cooler temperatures. Well, that should make it easier to clean up then, right? I mean, basically, if the hot asphalt and the sulfur solidifies as soon as it hits that cold water, then you should be able to remove the chunks of, solid material. If it stayed liquid, that'd be a lot different. They would wash downstream and whatnot. So there you go. I mean, I'm not a civil engineer or anything, but I could pretty much just look at that bridge and tell you it's a piece of junk. Like this was just a matter of time. Look at that thing. I wouldn't even want to drive my car over that shit, let alone a train. British bombers pull off a raid on the other side of the planet, the UK's first major conflict since World War II. What? Yeah, I don't know what kind of plane that is, but it looks cool as shit. Look at that thing. Is anybody, we got any aviation people, like plane enthusiasts in here? What kind of jet is that? Yeah, it's probably going to tell me, but. The Royal Air Force Vulcan Bomber, June 1980. That's what that thing is. Anyway, all right. I did not hear about this. What are they talking about 1980? I thought they were talking about now. Oh, well, fuck this. I thought they were talking about now. They're talking about something that happened in 1980 in South America, I think. A couple of Supreme Court case articles here. The first one, U.S. Supreme Court rebuffs Ohio State University bid to thwart sex abuse suits. Ew. Uh-oh. The United States Supreme Court on Monday rejected Ohio State University's bid to dismiss lawsuits brought by alleged sexual abuse victims of a now deceased doctor who was employed by the school's athletic department and medical staff for nearly 2 decades. Is there a reason all the northern schools that have more, that's more prevalent? I mean, you had the weirdo from well, I believe it was Michigan, wasn't it? That was like abusing the gymnasts, the school's gymnasts. Of course, you got the famous, story from Penn State, and all the crazy shit that went on there. There's this. I don't know. For decades, Ohio State has attempted to run out the clock on its accountability and protect its reputation through a series of actions aimed at hiding its role in perpetual serial sex abuse that Ohio State students and others experienced on the university's watch. Ohio State reached a settlement agreement with 296 survivors of Strauss's abuse. Wow. Totaling more than $60 million, while others continued to pursue their claims in court. Several other major universities have agreed to multi-million-dollar settlements in recent years to resolve claims made in episodes similar to the one at Ohio State. In 2019 report detailing the investigative findings says that Strauss had sexually abused at least 177 men, nearly all of whom were students. And the university staff who knew of it, the abuse failed to act. The abuse included groping and fondling of the students' genitals and other acts under the guise of medical examination. Oh, yeah. So this is what I was talking about earlier. The University of Michigan in 2022 finalized a $490 million settlement with more than 1,000 people who alleged sexual assault by former sports doctor. Yeah, that was what I was talking about. The University of Cal in 2022 agreed to pay $243 million to settle legal claims about 200 women accused by former UCLA gynecologists of sexual abuse. Jesus Christ. Michigan State in 2018, again, another Big Ten school, reached a $500 million settlement with more than 300 women who said they were sexually abused by a gymnastics doctor. So, there you go. Got any Florida mans in here? Slim's in here, isn't he? 15 most dangerous cities in Florida. Let's see if we can guess. Well, the most dangerous city has to be Miami, right? I mean, it's got to be, right? Where do you go from there? Well, let's find out. Look at this picture of this guy. Is there a list here? Can we see the list? I don't want to read this whole thing. I just want to see the list. Bro. Okay, here we go. 15, Sanford. I don't even know where that is. Violent crimes per 100,000 people in 2019, 817. Boynton Beach is 14. Melbourne is 13. Daytona Beach. First of all, it better not be where we're going for the Slob Olympics. You have to change that. Daytona Beach, number 12. West Palm Beach, number 11. Miami Beach, number 10. Look at this. Gainesville, number 9. In a bid to combat crime in the city, Gainesville's police chief requires his officers to enforce even a small traffic violations in order to combat crime. What? Doesn't even make any sense. There's a lot of people getting killed out there. Make sure you write a ticket for a broken taillight or you're fired. What? Oh. Anyway, number 8, Pompano Beach. 7, Fort Lauderdale. That's surprising. Isn't that a retirement community? 6, Tampa. Come on, don't stop at 6. What? Where's the rest? Oh, click here to continue. This is a scam, I tell you. What, do I have to sign up for something to read the top 5? Get out of here. What is this? All right, so I think number 5 is Tallahassee. Jesus. These assholes. See all. All right, so yeah, 5 is Tallahassee. 4 is St. Petersburg. Holy pop-up ad, Batman. Good Lord. 3, Orlando. 2, Miami. Uh-oh, what's number 1? Don't tell me it's Panama City Beach. Don't do that. Whose idea was to go to Panama City? Oh, Jacksonville. Good. So Panama City's not even in the top 15. We're safe, everybody. Don't worry. We're going to be just fine. in Panama City Beach next year. Don't have to worry about crime, you know. Actually does surprise me, though, that Jacksonville's number one. I would have definitely thought it would have been Miami. But Miami was number two. Miami is one of the most popular destinations in Florida, known for its numerous beaches, and is a particularly attractive place for retirees. In March of 2023, 5 people were killed in a murder-suicide via gunshot wounds. While Miami is still one of the top travel destinations in the country, it needs to improve crime levels in the city. Blah, blah, blah. There you go. Jacksonville, bro. Oh, shit. Get me out of this. Here we go. New photos show deep sea robot being used to tighten sub recovery. What? Look at this thing. A deep sea robot. God damn it. Starting to get perturbed. A deep-sea robot continued to search through the weekend for debris from the Titan submersible, which imploded with 5 people on board while attempting to dive and explore the wreckage of the Titanic. The robot, a remotely operated vehicle, or ROV, called Odysseus 6K, was probing the seafloor in the North Atlantic on Sunday in its 4th dive to the area since locating the debris field last week. That included fragments of the Titan sub. Odysseus found the debris field on Thursday, several days into a massive search and rescue mission that it transitioned into a recovery effort once officials determined that the debris field was, quote, consistent with catastrophic implosion of the vessel. I don't think you can plan on finding any human remains in there. From what I hear, they pretty much incinerated, which is unfortunate. Well, here you go. They got a robot submersible going down and gathering what's left of that submersible deal. Some of the titles for these articles, man. Well, keeping with the Titan theme, listen to this story. The mother of the 19-year-old who died on the imploded Titanic submersible says that she was supposed to go on the dive, but gave her son her spot because he really wanted to go. See, that's the opposite of what I heard. I heard he didn't want to go. And the only reason he did it was because he was doing it for his father for Father's Day. Because that was the day they did it. That was the day that they went down there, was on Father's Day. Christine Daywood told the BBC on Sunday that she and her husband, British-Pakistani multimillionaire Shahzada Daywood, initially booked spots for themselves to see the wreck of the Titanic, but that their trip was canceled due to COVID-19. She said that when Daywoods embarked on his year's mission, she stepped back to instead give her teenage son a chance to visit the shipwreck because he really wanted to go. I was really happy because both of them really wanted to do that for a very long time. So what she told the outlet. All right, so I guess whatever information I read, that's the problem with reading shit on the internet. I read the opposite. I read that he didn't want to go. I don't even remember where I read it. But here's what I do know. I believe the mother over whoever the jackleg was that said differently. You know, I mean, unless she's lying, but she's the closest thing to them, so I believe her. Oh, man. Imagine you lose your husband and your son same day. And then you feel guilty because it should have been you. And your son's dead now. Feel sorry for her. All right, we'll get to the StreamYard here in a second. I'm just going to click on this article here and see what this got on my radar as soon as I saw the headline here. I'm just curious what this is. Here's how much Lake Mead could rise after an epic winter and new water cuts. Well, they got plenty of water there. As long as you're not Native American, they don't care about you if that's the case. We read about that on Friday's show. Lake Mead, the nation's largest reservoir, spent much of last spring and summer in free fall. Over the course of 4 months, Mead's elevation plummeted to an astonishing 20 feet, first exposing one of the lake's huge intake valves in April before revealing more sinister things, multiple sets of human remains. Yeah, I heard it. You guys hear about this? So this lake, you know, because of drought or whatever, basically dried up. And so when it dried up, everything that everyone's ever thrown into the lake was now visible, including a shitload of dead bodies. How many of those bodies that's mob-related hits? It's got to be. You know. Decades-old homicides, but as news reports focused on the remains, Western state officials and the Colorado River experts were watching the falling water level with fear about what it could mean for 40 million people who rely on the river for drinking water, electricity, and crop irrigation. Lake Mead fell to its lowest level to date in July 2022 when elevations sat at 1,040 feet. If the reservoir had fallen another 145 feet, it would have become a dead pool, unable to provide water or hydroelectric power to millions of customers. However, 1 year later, Lake Mead's elevation is inching back up. A combination of historic winter snowpack and the new federal government agreements to pay cities, farmers, and tribes to conserve water are expected to raise Mead to a high point of 1,070 feet in February of 2024. Yeah, they're saying, well, I don't know. I'm not an expert on this. But I think maybe one of the main reasons that the water level is rising again is exactly the reason they said. There was a lot of snow, which I don't know if you guys know this. It's water. So if it doesn't rain a lot, then the water level will fall. If it does, then it will raise. Simple. And you know what? It's probably raising because of all the water they're stealing from the Native Americans. That's probably really why. You know. All right. That's going to end the news segment today. Let's get right to the StreamYard. We got Slim Shady Canes and our boy Scott Kerr. What's up, gentlemen?
Hey.
Hey.
I thought Slim Shady would pipe in too. So I gave him room to say hello. Slim, you got anything to say?
Slim, you there, buddy?
Engine water.
Engine water.
Engine water. Are you trading with the engines out there, Slim?
Nope, just taking it.
Okay. The engine water could get you really high.
Yeah. Well, the government in California, they really want to make sure that they have enough water to supply the 24 million people that live in Los Angeles. So if that can't happen, the first thing to do is steal the Native Americans' water, because nobody cares about them.
Well, desalinization plants have been a thing for 50 years. If you ain't figured that out yet, then the people in California deserve to die of thirst.
Yeah, hopefully they just break off from the United States and join Hawaii.
Well, Hawaii's the United States too.
I've got a friend, and he's got a junior kid in high school, and he is a hell of a baseball pitcher, and he's getting Clemson is going to look at him, Pete, but Rutgers just offered him a full boat, and all these other North Carolina, it's on and on and on, and the only obligation from his parent Jim is that he does not go to California.
Oh wow.
To play anywhere in California. Now, I don't think he's got the grades to go to Stanford or anything like that, but no UCLA or no USC in the projection of his future.
Oh wow, that's funny. So any of the other 49 states is okay, just not California.
Just not Cali, man.
Gotcha.
Just didn't want him to go to Cali.
Damn.
Now, see, if you would have said that a decade ago, California was such a destination state for so many years, for so many people, and it's not that anymore. It's just it's a garbage, it's a garbage fire.
Yeah, I'm sure it really depends on where you go. But have you ever been to there, Scott?
Have I been to Cali?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I haven't been I went to a convention it was in Hollywood, and I'd never really been in the center of Hollywood before, where Hollywood Walk of Fame and all that, the Chinese Crumman Theater, all that, Roosevelt Hotel, went and ate lunch there. Actually saw Hollywood stars when I was there. We went to Mr. Chang's to eat for dinner later that night, and there's Al Pacino and Joe Pesci sitting there in a very deep conversation. I'm thinking, well, who are they going to kill tonight? So it was like that. And saw Ozzy Osbourne like that afternoon with his daughter. And Ozzy was, he used to have that show with his son Jack.
Yeah.
On the road.
Yeah.
They were giving away the RV that they were in, and Ozzy had signed on the outside of the RV his autograph, and the producers right beside me said, he doesn't realize we got to wash the damn thing, and someone directed him, no, go inside, Ozzy, and sign it on the inside, not on the outside.
Inside.
Basically, that was it. He looked good, but man, as soon as he started walking, he walked like a little old man. I mean, he was just he could hardly walk.
He takes the word stutter to a whole new level, doesn't he, Ozzy Osbourne? It's like 90% of what he says is a stutter.
Yep. And last but not least, as far as
it's a medical. Hang on, it's a medical miracle that man's still alive.
Isn't it though?
Ozzy alone.
Yeah.
I mean, he ate a bat for all get out.
Well, he didn't really eat a bat. He ate a pigeon, I think is what it was.
No, he bit the head off of the bat. He didn't eat it.
Yeah. He bit it and chewed it out or spit it out.
Well,
but
I mean, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
That he snorted ant with Motley Crue on the sidewalk.
Oh yeah, I remember that story too. Yeah, that's just nuts.
Totally nuts.
It is weird though. Like some of these guys, especially musicians, that abuse their bodies with hard drinking and drugs for years and years and years. They live to be 100 years old. Like Mick Jagger, for example. This guy, how old is he? He's out on stage. He's got to be 80 something.
Jagger's got to be 80s.
He's probably 80s. He's out there doing cartwheels on stage like a fucking teenage cheerleader. It's weird. And who's the other ones? The guys from was it from Motley Crue or something?
Jagger's 79.
Those guys that were, all heroin addicts, and now they all look like they're 20 years old.
Yeah.
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 Maybe
Nikki Sixx has only died 4 times.
That's true. That's true, Slim. He has.
Maybe heroin's a preservative. It just keeps you young.
Well, it must be, because I saw Dave Mustaine from Megadeth on TV last night, and he still had all of his hair. It looked really damn good. I mean, rehab must really do something for these guys. I don't know.
Well, I think Dave Mustaine's staying alive out of pure spite because he's still pissed that Metallica kicked him out for drinking too much.
Out of spite.
Yeah. He still has a beef with Metallica, doesn't he? That beef never went away, right?
Oh yeah. Well, him and James Hetfield have been going at it for 40 years because they kicked him out for drinking too much.
Yeah.
Isn't there
being kicked out of a metal band for drinking too much?
Isn't there a documentary on that? On the Metallica?
I mean, I don't know if it's specifically about that, but there's a few Metallica documentaries. There's not very many interviews with James Hetfield, but to me, every time I've ever heard him interviewed or talk about things, he seems like a dick. He doesn't seem like a very nice guy.
No, neither does Lars, to be honest with you.
Well, Lars is a dick, but for different reasons.
Well, Lars has tinnitus, and I have tinnitus, and I could see why he has tinnitus because he's in a metal band. I think Pete Townsend of The Who has tinnitus because they just play the music so damn loud.
The what?
It's a hearing condition, right?
Yeah, it's a ringing in the ear.
Yeah,
it's from hearing loss.
Right.
And basically what it is, your ear is, you know what it looks like. It has little hair cells in it.
Uh-huh.
And after so many times, you hear loud noise, it's like mowing your grass, okay? You mow your grass, and then it goes down, and then it normally pops back up. Or if you walk a path, normally it goes down and walks back up. But after so many times, then the hearing cells break, the hair cells break in your ear, and then you get this frequency of them looking for that particular frequency to listen to, and that's what you hear all damn day.
So how did you develop that? Did you develop that through radio or through seeing live music?
Radio.
Oh,
Radio
damn. Damn. So I'm probably going to end up having that same problem.
Wearing headphones for 25 years and blasting the music, in your ears. That's what killed me. But it's only go ahead. I'm sorry.
Huh?
No, I was gonna say radio killed.
It's like the running joke. It's like the running joke. This guy named Murphy in the Morning used to work in Charlotte and Chicago, but he had and this woman called up and said, "Did you know that too much sex will make you deaf?" And Murphy would say, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, I can't hear you."
Yeah.
Would you repeat what you said? You know that too much sex will make you deaf? Ma'am, I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to let you go because we can't hear a thing.
I heard there was a guy, I think it was on Twitter, I read it. The guy was saying that his dad, who was like 80-something or 85 years old, has been pretending to be deaf for like 10 years, so he doesn't talk to his wife. I was like, that guy's a legend.
That's good, man.
That's kind of like the older guy That's kind of like the older guy that told his son that masturbation will make him go blind. Son replied to him, "Hey, Dad, I'm over here."
May I indulge you guys for a few moments and tell you a story about my neighbor?
Absolutely. I love neighbor stories.
Okay, well, let me ask this question first. Do you guys have neighbors or have had neighbors that have aggravated or irritated the living hell out of you?
I'm that neighbor.
Yeah, I'm usually that neighbor too.
Yeah, I'm usually that neighbor too. I think, not really. The old neighbors that we had, we ran them off because we annoyed them so much. But the fact that they got annoyed by stupid shit was annoying, if that counts. Right. Yeah, and that's my neighbor too. And Pete, I think I told you a little bit about my neighbor sometime last year.
Do you remember the story about my neighbors having the bug problem?
Yes.
Or no? Did I tell you that story?
Yeah. Well, go ahead and tell it for everyone else.
Okay. All right. Well, here's the thing. Okay, this will tell you just a little bit about how bad my neighbors are. Okay, they're from New York. They're from New York City. Not everybody from New York City is rude and inconsiderate, but these two are the stereotypical New Yorkers, that are rude and inconsiderate. We have tried for the past 8 years to be good neighbors to them, try to be kind. They have alienated themselves from every neighbor in the hood except for us, which we have been, again, try to be kind, considerate to them. So last year, they had a bug infestation in their home. They had the no-see-ums that got in their house.
Oh,
now,
no.
They brought them in. They brought them in because they had some plant they had outside, and the bugs were in that. The no-see-ums were in that. Brought it inside the house. Then they infested and became pestilence in their home. They became so bad that the wife had bugs up her vajayjay.
Oh, my God.
Honest to God. And the man had bugs up his rectum.
Oh, what?
So, he could make a real formal excuse that I'm a curmudgeon because I got bugs up my ass. Okay, so,
yeah, I think I'd be a little bit rude too if I had bugs in my ass.
Who it is? But
was it was it termites in the wood?
No, these were no-see-ums. They're the little in South Carolina and Georgia. They're they come up in the summertime. They're little gnats.
Yeah, like tiny little gnats. They call them no-see-ums because they're so small that you can hardly see them if you see them at all. Yeah,
right. And they multiply. They used every exterminator they could. I will say that they had their house bombed several times. They got someone to clean out their vents, but they had them for months. So we try to be nice, but we stayed away because we don't want that pestilence in our home. So, because of that, we stayed away from him for several months. And then
don't blame you.
He called me and wanted me to go play golf with him. Well, I've been out and played golf with him, and he picks a blistering hot day every single damn time to go out and play golf because he will not get up in the morning. He sleeps late, so he won't go out and play an early morning round of golf. So, and he plays at Coosaw Creek, and Pete, Coosaw Creek's a pretty damn tough course, especially for an amateur. Anyway, all right. So, I guess he had that because he had asked me several times to go play golf with him, and I'd passed. I said, "I'm sorry, I'm busy, I'm working, not a good day for me," that kind of thing. So I saw him outside last Tuesday. I said hi to him. He kind of motioned me over, and I said, "How are you? What's going on?" Well, I'm playing golf a lot now. I said, "Well, good." He said, "Well, I found friends I can play golf with." I said, "Well, good for you, man." And I told him, I said, "Look, I'm sorry." I said, "But I've had some medical issues. I had an appendix taken out. Well, I had cancer on my nose. I had surgery." I said, "Well, we're in the same club because they took my appendix out because there was a lesion on it that could have been a long form of cancer." So there we go. So they had told me back in April that they were planning on moving because they have a 2-story home. And because the man has heavy COPD, it's hard for him to get up the stairs. So I thought, well, okay, end the conversation with, "Hey, are you guys," because they said they were going to move by June. I said, "Are you guys still moving?" He said, "Well, that's none of your business." And I went, "Well, you're the one that told me that you guys are moving." And I said, "Hey, man, just tell me." I said, "I'm just trying to find out if you're going to still be my neighbor. Or are you still moving? That's none of your business." Well, I got livid. And I told him, I said, "Well, nice having a conversation with you. Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, no kidding.
And walked away. Now, I feel like that was deserved, well-deserved, because again, I've tried to be I've tried to do love thy neighbors, you love thyself. Okay. That kind of thing. Can't do it with this guy. So he has alienated himself from the whole damn neighborhood. So he should move, by all means. because I won't have another. If he were to come up and pull up signs in front of his yard and say, "Hey, Scott, hey, wave," I'd say, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. So anyway,
this guy's, but he's a walking. So he's got COPD. He had cancer on his nose, and he's got bugs up his ass. I mean,
if you put it all in that context, that is exactly right.
Well, you know what? How do you treat?
Oh my God! There's my story.
How do you treat that condition?
You guys carry on with the conversation.
Wait, Scott.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to Las Vegas with us?
Well, it's according to when you guys are going.
Well, it's definitely not going to be this year.
Okay.
It's going to be sometime next year. I don't know.
All right. Yeah. I mean, if you gave me enough plan ahead time, I would think Yeah. Sorry. Someone's calling me.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, you guys have a great rest of the week. Oh, by the way, real quick question. Pete, how was your vacation?
Which one? The
one to Virginia, I think.
Yeah, we go up there every year. Her dad and her family lives up there. It was great.
Oh, okay.
It's always good because it's beautiful up there, and you sort of get the disconnect from reality for a little while. You know what I mean? And actually be outside and do things outdoors. I know that's a tough thing for a lot of people to do these days, but you can do a lot of things outdoors up there, which is great.
What part of Virginia, may I ask?
It's southwestern Virginia. It's very close to the West Virginia border. It's about 30 minutes away from West Virginia. It's also about 30 minutes away from Blacksburg.
Okay, so yeah, that's a nice, beautiful area in that area.
Yeah, it really is pretty up there. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, man, that's gorgeous up there.
Yeah,
because I lived in Charlottesville for a little while and was pretty close to the Shenandoah Valley, and God, that area is just gorgeous too.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, carry on, and hope y'all have a great rest of the week. Okay.
All right. See you later, Scott.
Yeah, man. Bye.
Speaking of Vegas, Nate.
What's up?
What's up, Nate?
What's up? I promise to be behaviour or behaved.
Yeah, I don't know if you going on the Vegas trip is a very good idea, honestly. I mean, I guess maybe.
Deny me?
Huh?
Are you trying to deny me to go to Vegas?
Look, it's a free country, dude. You can do whatever you want. I'm just saying, I'm not sure it's such a great idea. First of all, are either one of your parents coming with you?
I don't know.
No, me and Nate are gonna stay together, and I'll look at.
Oh, again, this is a terrible idea.
Okay, well.
Who's gonna? If you're taking care of Nate, who's gonna be taking care of you?
You.
Man, shit.
This is gonna be a cluster if this happens. But yeah. I mean, because my parents has been in Vegas many times, so I haven't in my life. So I that's why I want to go. To go to casinos and stuff.
Right.
I mean, that's the whole part of the thing, right? Well,
so Nate, how much money are you planning to bring up there for gambling?
He's got to have a job to have money to bring.
Yeah.
Well, right now, I got to stop spending all my freaking money.
What do you spend your money on?
Stupid stuff.
Yeah, what do you spend your money? That's a good question. Do you buy video games and shit like that, or is it food?
Yes, that correct category, like in-game currency, like V-Bucks for Fortnite.
Yeah, see, he's spending it on Fortnite. I knew it.
Or VC and NBA 2K.
See? Yeah.
So Nate, how much do you think you spend monthly?
I do not know. Probably 5. I don't know.
500?
I don't know. I'm just taking a guess.
God dang, Nate.
Basically paying rent.
Yeah. No wonder they keep making those Fortnite games. You got people like Nate out there spending $500 a month on it.
Oh, you should see how much Tiger Baxton spends on.
Oh my god.
Is it, what is it, Endgame? I've never played Fortnite, or
You should.
or I know there's like the Call of Duty's. I played the old Call of Duty back when it first came out, a million years ago. I've never played the new.
Yeah.
So what it is it in-game purchases that you make?
Yeah, it's like in-game currency. Basically, you buy stuff basically like an item store, which is an item store is like skins or whatever, or just cost.
Do you have to pay for like weapons upgrades and shit like that?
No, not that. It's just maybe the weapon skins, but that's about it.
Yeah,
so basically it's like a government scam, spending money you ain't got on shit you don't need.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you want all the upgrades, you can spend it on anything.
Yeah. Well, it's called gold in the game, but yeah.
Yeah, but you got to give actual money to get gold.
Yeah, if people like Nate would quit spending money like that, there'd be a subway going from Memphis to my house, but there's not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have to make that hour drive every day.
They still haven't done that yet? Wow.
Well, no, Nate, they're never going to.
No, yeah, you remember
the whole thing about public transit's a dumb idea because you can fit all of Europe in less than half of this country. This country's massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, there still is no. Remember, I don't remember. Was it Obama maybe the one that was talking about, in my term, by the end of my term, we're going to have a high-speed rail from Los Angeles to New York or whatever. Yeah, they never even broke ground on that, let alone put a railroad tie down.
Well, no. I mean, okay. I mean, you want to start going through broken promises from a fucking politician? I mean, that's par for the course.
No, but my point is, it's like you said, the way the places that we spend our tax money are way like. Yeah. Well, I only want to get into what the main thing that we've been spending our money on lately that we shouldn't be involved in. But of course, it's a war. But
even then, you're not going to have public transportation for everybody in the country because it's just not feasible.
Right, that's true.
Well, you got to say for everybody in the country, but it certainly could be a lot more than there is. A lot more.
Because there's well, not really, because you're having the population of all these cities decline.
That's true.
Like you alluded to with traffic tickets earlier, they're not enforcing low-level crime like people paying their bus fare or jumping the turnstiles for subways. So that's why that shit's a drain on the system.
Oh, well.
Not to mention when you don't police low-level crimes, there's crime downwind of that or downriver of that.
Weren't they policing low-level crimes? Is that what the article you put up there?
He was talking about Gainesville, Florida.
Yeah, in particular, that city, I guess the police are saying don't let anybody get away with even the most basic traffic violation. Is what that was.
And a lot of people these days look at it as petty, but you can also look at it. If New York had been enforcing turnstile jumpers 2 months ago, that guy wouldn't have jumped the turnstile and went in there and raped a city worker.
Yeah, I don't disagree with if people break the law, whatever the punishment is or fine or whatever the case is. But the way that article read was to help fight violent crime, we're going to make sure that every traffic violation is written a ticket for. Like a busted taillight has nothing to do with somebody gets murdered with a gun or a knife or whatever.
It's broken windows policing though, and it works. People don't like to admit it. People just want to say, "Oh, they're policing petty shit," but okay, there is other crime downriver, downstream of it. Just like I said, we were talking about something Friday. I mean, okay, just because the drug dealer didn't get picked up for murdering somebody or a weapons charge, don't mean he didn't do it. And a lot of times they have.
Hey, Pete, do you remember my aunt from this last Summer Olympics?
Of course I do.
She's coming down. Well, she already flew in Omaha, but she came down to see us, like my family and stuff. to hang out for the 4th of July. Well, I want to say 4th of July, just the week of 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
that's great. I've meant to ask you, why aren't you at the College World Series? Is that still going on?
Yeah.
Yes,
I think so.
I was actually at a College World Series game.
It's almost over, isn't it? Didn't it come down to LSU and Florida? Aren't they playing each other?
Yeah,
Did you see last night's game?
Oh my God!
No, I haven't. I didn't see any of the games. I saw the highlights from Game 1. I think when they played each other, that was a close game. LSU won.
So the score from last night was
a disaster.
24-6.
Holy shit!
Florida.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's best out of 3.
Yes, so it's tied 1-1 right now. Then.
Yeah.
It's a football score.
Yeah. 24. Yeah. I guess they don't have like a mercy rule in baseball, college baseball.
Well, probably not.
They do in college softball. Clemson had many games that didn't finish because they blew out their opponents by. I think it's.
Well, yeah, because the women get emotional and get their feelings hurt.
Is that what it is?
It was at their time of the month. But who won? Who won?
Oklahoma?
I think Oklahoma did.
Yeah, Oklahoma won the soft, but yeah, they destroyed everybody. I mean, yeah, they're the closest thing. I know there's not really such thing as a professional softball league, but they're basically like professional softball players.
Yeah, because you basically get drafted to the World Series in softball, and there's some professional league you get drafted right out of college.
Right.
I tell you, got some badass girls on that softball team too. I'll tell you.
I'm not gonna say no.
So when is the Game 3 of the World Series? I'll watch that.
I think it's today. I think
it's tonight.
Is it tonight?
Goose has been streaming them, and he's been in the chat.
Yeah, I think it's tonight at 6 p.m. my time. Yours is 7. I've been to that stadium many times. It's a really nice stadium or ballpark. It used to be called TD Ameritrade. Now it's called Charles Schwab. Or
is there any other team that plays there regularly, or is that facility strictly for the World Series every year?
No. Creighton University, which is located in Omaha, that's their home field.
Oh, okay. So it's Creighton University's field. I got you.
Yeah.
Is it on campus?
Yeah. Well, basically, yeah.
Oh.
Because Creighton's University is based in downtown Omaha.
Uh-huh.
So,
gotcha.
Anyway,
why aren't you there? That was my original question. I would like to go to it, even though I'm not a huge baseball fan, but I can still appreciate it for what it is. If I lived in Omaha, I would definitely go.
Yeah, it's a really fun time. Even though you can make jokes about Omaha, but there's a fan or like a fan fest, like for little kids to play with throw baseballs at how fast you can throw a baseball.
Yeah, I got you. Like they have a little I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But how much does it cost to buy a ticket to one of the games though? How much does that cost?
Oof. Well, if it for the I think is it the semifinals? I don't know. Let's see. I want to see. Ticketmaster. Let's see a Ticketmaster.
Well, if you don't know, I was just curious. I'm not looking for an exact dollar amount. Is it $20 or is it $100?
It's usually $20.
Okay.
Until they get bought. Yeah.
See, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
going to that would be a lot cooler than that dumbass zoo that you like so much. Yeah.
Did you hear last night?
What?
What my mom said about it?
Hey, you don't need to take him talking shit about your zoo, Nate.
Well,
yeah, don't put up with that.
Well, I mean, he's not a zoo fan, so I can't.
He's not a zoo fan. Yeah.
Right now, the current price for 2 tickets is $180. No, $180.
Oh, well, that's a lot more than 20. But maybe it's just because it's the final game.
Yeah, that's it. So, but the one I went to, the Florida and Virginia game, it was like $26.
Yeah, see, that's not bad.
Yeah, but
here's how they get you. I bet they sell beer there, don't they?
I think they do.
Yeah, I'm sure they do, and I bet those things are about $15 a piece.
I bet actually you might be right.
Yeah, I know. Of course they are.
I didn't get beer, but my dad made me get those beer bracelets or whatever it's called, where you get like.
Oh, okay. I see what your dad's doing. He's trying to get one more.
Yeah. Your dad's smart. He's like, I can only get one at a time, but if Nate's got a bracelet, then I can get 2 at a time.
That's what he's thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. I like your dad. He's smart.
And unfortunately, unfortunately, I didn't go get a beer for him because we were still watching the game. But
so Nate, who do you want to win? You got Florida and LSU. Who do you want to win it
well,
all?
I hate the SEC.
Well, they can't both lose, Nate. Only one of them can lose.
I guess LSU.
All right.
You want LSU
I don't
to
know.
win?
Can college baseball games still end in a tie?
Well, they can, but
Can they?
not end in tie, but like they can end in tie, but go extra innings.
Yeah, but that's not a tie, Nate. So I think the answer to your question, Slim, is no. I don't think you can. I think it goes as many innings as it takes.
Yeah.
I think in college baseball, they will actually end the time and then pick it up the next day and play a doubleheader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
So hold on now, a doubleheader.
I figured they would just do like MLB and the refs intentionally blow some calls so somebody wins.
Now, do you mean a doubleheader, or they just pick up? Like, let's say it's the 15th inning, but it's midnight, so they just start with the 15th inning the next day.
Yeah.
All right.
So they'll play they'll play the rest of the game. If it ends in 1 inning, 2 innings, then they'll draft and they'll stop that and then pick up the other game.
I got you.
That's how it used to be, like 5-6 years ago. But I don't know about nowadays. You know how they're changing shit every single day.
Like if it was midnight, if I were at a game at midnight, like if I were not sleeping or something like that, I probably will. But if I were not sleeping, so everybody's gone, I had the whole stadium to myself. I can do whatever shit I want. I got some ideas if that happened.
What would you do?
Well,
I'm not sure if we need to get into that.
I must have missed. What did he say?
Well,
Talking about what he would do in an empty college baseball stadium if he was all alone.
Oh yeah, we don't want to know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. No.
I'll say like Mario.
That's almost
board or something.
That's almost as bad as the city. As thinking about the city of Jacksonville.
Hey, Miami was up there. Hey, Slim. By the way, you live in Memphis, and then you live in the most horrible city in Florida too, in Miami. Why do you support all these bad cities?
No, he lived in Tampa.
I lived outside of Tampa, bro.
Yeah.
So why do you support all these bad cities?
Why do you support these bad?
You notice I got the hell out of them.
Well, no, you're still in one of them.
Now see, all these cities in Florida and Memphis are all proof to my point that even the reddest of states, when you have a blue area, they're fucked.
Yeah, well, you still support Ja Morant flashing his gun.
mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, you
I
did.
don't.
Yeah, you're on record saying that.
I'm not on record saying shit.
Well, you
Yeah.
said.
But yeah,
Well, I mean, what? Here's my issue with that. Now, did he do anything illegal?
Yes.
What?
You can't flash a gun in a club.
Oh.
If they let you get away with it, yes, you can.
See,
And guess
here we
what?
go.
People spending thousands of dollars in the VIP nightly, are able to get away with that shit.
Yeah.
So you report it.
No, I don't.
So hold on now.
That's just how
So hold on
the
now.
world works.
He got. I know. Look, he got in trouble the first time for that, right? And then he got fined, and I think he got suspended, and then he did it again. But this time, he was in a passenger in a car. So that's not illegal.
No,
I don't think.
Flashing a gun on. If you're a professional NBA athlete,
Yeah.
do you think it's smart to flash a gun?
I didn't say it was smart, but my question is the legality of it.
But I'm pretty sure in their contract it says that you cannot flash a gun on Instagram Live.
No, it doesn't. You don't lose the right to own firearms just because you play in the NBA.
Well, I don't think it's about him. I don't know what did they call it? Did they call it some sort of player conduct? You know, the NFL does this too. It's if you do something that they don't like, it's of course you have a signature somewhere that says that you'll follow player conduct, and which is a very, very loose term. Now, if Jay Morant, I don't know his contract situation. If he really, really wanted to fight this in court, he probably could, but he probably end up spending more money than it was worth to get it overturned, whatever his fine is.
Yeah.
So that's where they get you.
And it's not like his fine is all that much anyway.
I don't even know how much it
I
is,
think
but
he got fined. Well, I don't know. They didn't release his. He got suspended for 9 games at the end of the season, and then he couldn't practice throughout the off season. Then he got suspended for 25 games, which was like 19 million, maybe 15 million dollars, basically a third of the season. So it's gonna take a hit on him because he's making most of that money through sponsors and
yeah.
deals and everything like that. So he's taking a big hit, but I'm glad Slim agrees with his rights.
No. Somebody should tell him that you know the saying "keep it in your pants." Which when you say "keep it in your pants," you're usually talking about something else. But in his case, he just needs to keep his gun in his pants and stop pulling it out everywhere.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why he hasn't shot himself in the foot like Plexico Burris.
Oh boy.
I remember the time. And now this is back.
Well, I mean, Colby. I mean, if Patrick Mahomes posted a video of him out on the range with some buddies, would that be a problem? What's the difference?
Not really.
Because he's on a range where it's supposed to be. He's not in a club. He's not in a car with a bunch of. You know who he was with? He was with a rapper, like some rapper that's been in trouble with guns in a long time. There's a difference between on a range and in a club. There's a huge.
Okay, I agree with you. It's not the smartest thing, but like Pete said, it's not necessarily illegal.
No. Yeah, policy and law are two different things. Like, so it might be a restaurant's policy to not allow concealed weapons in, but it's not against the law. I mean, they can kick you out, but you're not going to get arrested for it.
Like you tell me what's the difference between a range, like at range that you probably have to sign a waiver, I'm guessing. Right?
No, I go to a range all the time. That's nothing but a dirt road out by the Mississippi River.
Well,
Okay. All right.
but yeah, most establishments, especially indoor ones, yes, you do have to sign a waiver.
I've been to an indoor range like twice in my life.
Okay, so what's the difference between a shooting range and waving a gun around in a club? There's a huge difference, right?
Yeah, it's first of all, it's stupid behavior.
So I don't understand why Slim's like trying to protect this guy like he did nothing.
I don't think he is.
What
I'm not.
the thing?
Colby can't understand basic English. That's the problem.
Okay, yeah, explain it to me then.
Which is not surprising for a Georgia fan, but
Okay, so we got to know you got to go back towards the football because you don't want to explain gun law. You think there's a difference between going to a range, like Pete did in his Lutu's Got Talent video, and then going flashing a gun around in a club? You think that's
no?
There's no
I said it's not. I said it's not the brightest idea. I said it's probably not illegal. And if that club decides not to throw him out, not to call the cops, that's their business.
It's illegal. You don't think it's illegal to flash a gun and wave it around in a club?
I don't think it is. No. I mean, I don't really know. It depends. It depends.
What club y'all been to?
I think it depends on the situation. I don't know if you start threatening people with it.
You're in a club with 1,000 people and you can wave a gun around.
I mean, Colby, this is not a hard concept to understand that people with lots of money don't live by the same rules as normal people like me and you.
Oh, so it's about money.
Well, according to
Duh.
So money gets you more freedom.
A lot of times, yes.
Unfortunately, yeah, there's some truth to that.
Yeah, all right, you're right. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I don't.
And
think
I'm
it
not
should be that
saying
way.
it's. And I agree with you, Colby, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I just think it's wrong. But like, what? I mean, we had a fucking loaded gun in a club. What if he just slipped and shot himself in the foot like the old
Guess
buddy
what?
from
The way the laws are in
1894 that you
Tennessee.
said?
Hang on. The way the laws are in Tennessee, I can carry a loaded gun into a club.
Yeah, you're right. Tennessee
into a
does
bar.
have different gun
Yeah.
laws. Yeah, you're right.
I think that's most of the country at this point.
like
A lot of them are. Now, guess what? Something else Tennessee also passed is even if they have the little sign on the door that says no firearms, if you have a carry permit before they passed the constitutional carry laws in Tennessee, I can carry into a building that has that sign on it.
Yeah, see, and here's the other thing too. People are confuse a state or federal facility like a courthouse or any sort of state building.
Airport.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, if they have a no concealed weapons policy, then it is against the law to take even if you have a permit, I think. But now a private business like a restaurant or a bar or a grocery store or whatever the case is, they can put a sign up that says no concealable weapons. It doesn't make it illegal to take one in there. Now they can kick you out of their establishment because it's against their policy, but they could trespass you maybe. But they
I'm looking it up now. So the club that he went to did not have. So y'all were right. I'll admit that. Yeah. So he did not get anything charged against him because he was in Memphis and.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the local.
Y'all right.
It depends on the local laws. Now, federally, I don't know. I guess I think federally they with those types of instances they generally leave it up to the state to handle it legally.
Okay, I stand corrected. I'm looking it up now. Okay, I should have done my research before arguing about Slim about guns. To be honest with you.
Now here's the twist to that. If he's carrying in there and he's drinking, at that point he is breaking the law.
Yeah, and he was too. I mean,
I'm sure he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if they don't call the cops on him, then it's just like any other crime. It's not a crime if you don't get caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, either way, he's a dummy. Tell you that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
It's like
that's dummy behavior.
and it's not the, and you know how I feel about the whole firearm stance. I'm pro rights and everything, very very much so. I practice it in my own personal life, but it's the same. It's the same thing with these idiots. It's the same thing with these idiots that get these multi-$100 million contracts to play a sport, and all they have to do is stop smoking weed for a couple of years, and they can't fucking do it. Like, it's like I'm all for people's right to smoke or whatever they want to do. But if your employer doesn't want you to do it, and there's hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, and you just can't stop doing it, then you're just a fucking idiot. I'm sorry.
Yep.
You're an idiot.
Now, here's the flip side of that, Colby. It's also perfectly legal for these numbnuts to sling an AR over their shoulder and go to Starbucks, and I think they're stupid too.
Well, it's all about the contract that they have too. Like you can, and that's what I'm trying to get at. Like he's losing millions and millions of dollars for being, like you said, a dummy.
Yeah, he's a dummy.
That's my point. Yeah. You know.
Okay, so I see your side. Yeah, I see your side. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with your point that he's a dummy. I'm 1,000% in agreement.
I can't remember who the video was. That second time after he was in the car waving his gun around or whatever. So there was somebody that came on and was like, "You need to separate yourself from these people you're hanging out with." That's like half the problem. He's hanging out with these idiots that don't care about his life. You know what I mean?
I said the same thing about John Jones 10 years ago. He needs a babysitter.
Yeah.
The guy that you're talking about, Pete, is Adam Pac-Man Jones. I'm pretty sure he played for the Steelers.
I know he played for the Cowboys.
Oh, you mean the guy who didn't he pull a gun on his girlfriend or something?
Yeah.
And she was pregnant with his baby or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He has his own strain out now. It's not gonna lie to you, it's pretty good.
I don't know. Have you listened to Antonio Brown's rap album?
Oh no.
No. And guess what? Nobody else has either.
Hey,
Who cares?
you should. That is comedy gold.
Is it on YouTube?
It might be.
Let's see.
Oh no.
Does he have any music video?
Howard Sports Media.
Now that I don't know.
He has a YouTube channel, but I don't know.
Of course he does. Antonio Brown rap video.
I think he needs to go back to the blonde goatee. I think it'll help him.
Here's the problem with playing this is that it's his YouTube channel, and I guarantee you he will strike me.
Oh, yeah.
If I play
He's
it.
trying to get every penny he can.
Yeah. Damn it. I really want to play it, too. Oh, I did hear that one song, A Whole Lot of Money. It's terrible. Whole lot of money, bro.
I mean, I thought Roy Jones Jr.'s rap album was bad, but whew.
I'll have to listen to it on my I'll have to listen to it on my own time, I guess. I don't
Pete, you should make a rap, man. I feel like you can kind of spit.
I thought about actually doing a rap video. The problem is I feel like there's been so many people that have done it. Not that it wouldn't be funny, don't get me wrong. But you know, a lot of people
really top Coach Coops.
Yeah, Coach Coop, I mean, he took it to another level. There's been several YouTubers that have done that.
TB.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you and TB, exactly, Nate. I think you and TB, like maybe a Pete make like a little chorus, and TB starts rapping, and Pete has like the little third anchor on it. I think it'll be good.
There's this classic here from our boy Volusia. Come on now.
You know what you do? You know what you do? You do like Dwayne Johnson did, get Tech 9 to write a verse for you.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, I doubt that's going to happen. You know, I might do it. I
gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on, y'all.
All right, see you later, Colby.
Las Vegas soon. Vegas soon.
Yes.
Ugh.
Where's that?
MGM.
Slim doesn't sound like he likes Las Vegas very much.
No, I'm
Wait
all
till he
for
sees
going to
the big old
Vegas,
Biggies
but
out.
I mean, I'm doing all I can just to make the softball game.
Yeah, I understand, yeah.
Slim's gonna see them big old biggies out there. The cards laying on the ground. And he's gonna. All right, boys.
All right, see you later, Colby. The one good thing about Vegas is the amount of money that you spend is really completely dependent on you, because just going to Vegas and staying in Vegas, whether it's for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, that's not expensive at all. The issue is what you choose to do with your money while you're there. If you're not a huge gambler, then you really don't have to spend a whole lot of money in Vegas. Like I said, it just depends on what you want to do.
Yeah, it's like Huffer Billy Paul hit me up about, I guess they're putting a trip together to Biloxi, and that's actually fairly close to me. But like I said, Joey's got another surgery this week, so
yeah,
you know, we're doing all we can, trying to save time just to still be able to make the softball game.
Right. Yeah, I get it. I didn't even know about the Biloxi trip. When's that supposed to happen?
I don't remember exactly. He said something to me about it, and I was like, man, I ain't got the time to do it.
Ain't got time for it.
Is there like I don't know anything about. Is there a bunch of casinos there, or one casino? What's there?
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 casinos in Biloxi.
Okay.
I know the big one there's Hard Rock.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah,
is Biloxi? Is that the place where they have the floating casinos? You know what I'm saying?
All of them. Well, I think most of them in Mississippi have got moved on to land because, it finally struck them as a good idea because, believe it or not, putting a casino on the river rises and falls all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, go figure, right?
Yeah.
I've got a buddy that works on the barges, and they're still having trouble with that. And even us. Like, we've got, 10 drivers that every day for the past 4 months have had to go up to Missouri to bring back loads of cement because the river's so low they can't get barges down the river.
Some of these states just have the stupidest laws. You know what I mean? Like, I know that I don't know if Mississippi's that way or not, but I know there's several states. I think Missouri might be one of them, where you can have a casino as long as it's floating and not on land. It's like, what's the point of that law? Floating? It's just stupid. It's like either you allow gambling or you don't.
Moving on to land, so.
Oh, on a boat. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just.
It's silly.
It is silly. It's either allow it or don't allow it. Don't do this stupid parameters like it's going to stop anybody from gambling. Like, oh, gambling destroyed my life, but it's a good thing that they're floating. Like, what?
It's like,
that way you can, jump out of the hotel window into the river.
I guess so. Get eaten by an alligator. Yeah.
Hey, there are gators in the Mississippi River. Don't have no doubt about it.
But yeah,
sharks too.
Oh yeah, bull sharks. Oh god. Man, bull sharks are aggressive, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, we every summer we go out boating here in the Charleston area, and we swim in the river. The Ashley River is, first of all, the Ashley River is what feeds into the Cooper River, which feeds into the Charleston Harbor. So it's like a convergence of rivers. But anyway, the point is, we swim a lot when we go out boating in the river. I'm talking about miles upstream from the ocean, miles and miles. And I keep an eye. I'm not going to go up and walk and touch an alligator if I see one. But generally, I'm not scared of alligators when I'm swimming in the river. I just don't think they really want to fuck with you most of the time. But I honestly worry more about bull sharks being upriver than I do alligators.
Yep.
When I'm swimming.
Yeah, they're effing aggressive.
Yeah.
What's more aggressive, great white shark or bull shark?
The bull shark.
Yeah.
They have something. I could probably pull it up. They have something like 10-fold the amount of testosterone in their body than other sharks. That's why they're aggressive.
Wait, they have the balls to do it?
It's it's hormones.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see here.
But still not as much testosterone as Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
Bull shark testosterone levels. There you go. One bull shark tested higher testosterone levels than a male African elephant. What does that tell you?
Holy shit.
Bull sharks' testosterone levels are believed to be the highest in all of the animal kingdom. So there you go.
Holy.
Yeah, they like to attack people, and I'm assuming they like to have a lot, mate a lot. If they have that high of a testosterone level.
Yeah, right.
They might use some pills to do that also.
Yeah, why aren't they selling bull shark pills to help men raise their testosterone?
That is actually a very good question. Like, I'm assuming you can eat shark. I've never eaten a shark, but I'm assuming you can. Why aren't people trying to eat bull sharks into extinction?
Oh, look.
And everything else?
Yeah.
As soon as they must be listening to me, Slim. As soon as I said that, the very next article was about how people are trying to sell these fake pills, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, there you go.
Bull shark pills, bro.
Damn
bull shark. Be done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nose to tail. Eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
Testosterone extracted from Chilean bull shark testicles. That's what they put in these pills. Imagine you take a pill that's got shark nuts in it. What is going on?
Disgusting.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
people willingly eat Rocky Mountain oysters, so I mean,
Well, shark nuts though. I don't know.
Yeah, have two
I mean-
full balls then. With shark nuts and your never mind.
Oh,
Sorry.
so apparently this is from the Grand Theft Auto. There's a character in the game where if your character takes a bull shark testosterone, they briefly go into roid rage with enhanced strength and reflexes.
roid rage, bro.
Oh yeah, Grand Theft Auto is very cool.
Well, if it's in a
Wow.
video game, it must be true.
Right.
It's funny too. I can play Grand Theft Auto.
You know, that explains a lot, Nate.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'll only go there for, you know what, and then golf. That's it. That's all I do in golf and that place.
Yeah, shark fin soup is a big delicacy over in Asia. I know that. Japan. Which I'm not a big fan of that. Well, I don't have any issue if they want to eat the whole shark and use the shark for shoes or whatever the hell else. I don't really have an issue. But just these fishermen that catch these sharks and just cut their fins off and throw them back in the ocean, that's just not cool.
Yeah.
That is kind of a dick move.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Have you been in the movies theaters lately, Pete?
Yes, I went whatever it was 2 weeks ago to see that Spider-Verse movie, which God knows. It's like I said, it was like. First of all, Nate, I don't want to give your medical information out, but one of your conditions, I believe, is you're epileptic, right? I don't think you should go to see that movie then, because I'm not even epileptic, and I almost had a seizure in there. It's wild.
Well, he may not be able to anyway. That movie got pulled from a bunch of theaters.
For what?
Apparently, one of the characters is a tranny.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. I saw the movie.
I haven't seen the movie. I don't know.
I like the first movie.
I just saw an article where it got pulled from a bunch of theaters.
Oh,
I like the first movie, but if that's the case, I'm not gonna go through it.
I don't know. Here's what I can tell you. I'm not a fan of those kind of movies anyway. But I was taking my kids. They like that kind of shit. But whatever it is, the first hour and a half, or even maybe close to 2 hours of the movie, just wasn't for me. Now, the last 30 or 45 minutes of the movie, I did like. It was entertaining, but the majority of the movie just wasn't for
I don't
me.
know if you saw the new Transformers movie yet.
No, I haven't.
No. I don't go to movie theaters that often to see movies, to be honest with you. Like the last two I went to, I saw the new Top Gun.
Yes.
And before that, I saw the last Avengers. That's how often I go to the movie theater.
Yeah, well, it's expensive, especially if you take your family with you. But let's see what the last movies I saw was. I saw that Spider-Man. When we were in North Carolina, 2 months ago, whatever it was, we went to a movie when we were in North Carolina. We went and saw Mario Brothers. Have you seen that yet, Slim? Mario Brothers? Hello? Did you drop out? Must have lost him. Oh, no, he's still on there.
I watched that for the kids on DVD.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I liked it too. What's up, Vic?
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Speaking of a gambling man, Vic, you lost $250 on the slot machine. You know that, right?
I was in the comment section.
I just said, yeah.
Vic was in the comment section arguing with Humper Billy Paul about gun laws. Apparently, Vic is an anti-gunner.
Yeah, it was about gun violence, not gun laws. You told me that self-defense isn't, and I was just saying that it is.
Yeah, because the way that they word it.
Self-defense shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Self-defense shouldn't be counted in the numbers with gun deaths.
Yes.
When they're talking about, people criminally using
exactly.
guns.
That's how they skewed the numbers. That came from that article I was reading, at the beginning of the news segment. is that they throw out this number 49,000, and how many of those are suicide or self-defense?
Right.
Yeah.
2/3 every year alone are suicides.
Right. Anyway.
But they also when they throw in self-defense, they also throw in every police shooting as well.
Right. Yeah. Police. That's another one. Yeah, that's another one. Police.
So it when you actually break down the numbers, it's not that bad. And then when you look at that CDC study that they tried to delete off the internet that didn't work, at minimum, the CDC found that there's, I think they said 300,000 defensive uses of firearms every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I think 300,000 outweighs whatever number that they come up with by a long shot.
So where all did you go again, Vic? You went to Philadelphia, Atlantic City. Where else? Boston, maybe?
City. No, I went to the mountains. I went to the Pocono.
Oh, the Poconos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was that?
Yeah, that was cool.
What is there to do in the Poconos?
I don't know. Just do some trails and stuff. Yeah.
Trails.
State parks there.
Oh.
And then also.
Did you go hiking, Vic?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
You mean we can get Vic to do more hiking than we can get Uncle Lou? Really?
Damn, yeah, that's something there.
Yeah. Rode a train.
Yeah.
I want to do that again. That was actually cool.
What, riding a train?
Because when I was working that BP oil spill in the Gulf, instead of riding back in the crew truck with everybody else, I just took a train. Me and like 3 others took a train back from New Orleans to Memphis.
You know what? It's really the most comfortable way to travel a long distance.
That was cool.
It is.
Yeah,
it is cool.
Really
the only problem with train is time. Like, if you want to travel from, let's say, where I live in Charleston to Las Vegas on Amtrak, it might take you 4 days to get there. Whereas as opposed to a plane, it just takes you a few hours. But it's definitely the most comfortable way to travel.
Yeah, you were talking about that coast-to-coast railway earlier. If they do a train that goes from like the East Coast, over to Europe, I get behind that. That way I ain't got to worry about flying or riding a boat anymore.
That would be cool to have a train that goes over the ocean or maybe even under it. What do you think about that?
Right under it.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've already got a train that goes under the English Channel from England over into France.
Yeah. It can be done. Now, it would be a hell of an engineering feat to do it across the continents, but it would be cool.
Well, this is America, bro. We can do it.
Yeah.
Just don't put a Georgia Tech grad on it.
No, we don't want to do that. No, we want it to work.
I mean, look what happens to their train bridges and their interstates in Philadelphia. Did that screw with y'all at all, Vic, having to make your way around the interstate?
Yeah, he dropped out. I don't know where he went. I don't know if he lost connection or just said, I'm not enjoying this conversation. I'm getting out of here. So I don't know which one it was.
Probably the second one.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm going with the latter. No one Vic.
Vic didn't have no interest in it and talking about trains.
No. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Great movie.
Oh, that's a great one.
That was a great movie, yeah. I actually seen that before. That's pretty good.
But my father-in-law, I guess it was maybe 2 summers ago, him and one of his buddies, actually wasn't even his buddy, I believe it was his cousin. Anyway, they basically they traveled across the entire United States by train and just stopped at every city that they were in. And it was like a 2-month trip, which, he's retired. It sounds like a great way to see the country is by train.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Especially if the bar's open all the time. Man.
Yeah, they got food, drink. I believe You can buy sleeping quarters, lay down, the whole thing.
Yeah, see, I'm sure they got a table at the bar. I'll just pass out there. It'll be all right.
Yeah. Beats the hell out of riding in a plane. Planes are terrible. Plane travel is awful.
Is it really?
Oh, God.
Like, I've been up in smaller planes, but I've never traveled by plane.
It's just not it's not a good experience. I don't know. It's the flying part is nothing. I mean, whatever. It's everything else.
I was young the last time I did it. Because we went to, it's when my uncle was flying cargo flights out of Dublin. We went over to visit them for a few days.
Yeah, like I'm not like, flying doesn't scare me. It's just it's a hassle, and I don't know. It's just, unless you're sitting in first class, which I've never done. I've never sat in first class before. That looks like it's okay because you have a comfortable chair, you have leg room. They serve you real food instead of whatever,
Is PigskinPeete a member of the Mile High Club?
No, I'm not. No.
Too bad.
No.
Not for lack of trying, I'm sure.
Well, let's put it this way: not yet.
Give it time.
Yeah, I'm not dead yet. It is a big hassle to fly, though.
Yeah, I was like under 10 years old the last time I did it, so I don't really remember. And now, according to the government, I'm a risk if I get on a plane, which they may have a point.
Well, like for instance,
Nate didn't have any interest in this conversation.
No, he had to go too. I got to go in a minute, but before I do, we were talking about this yesterday, talking about flying. This is a prime example of why I hate flying. When we went to Las Vegas in 2010, that was for my 30th birthday. We went in October of 2010. Anyway, the flight back from Las Vegas. It was like a 12 o'clock in the afternoon flight, something like that. So we get to the airport, we get on the plane, they get us seated. I'm talking about as soon as they pulled away from the plane, he came over the intercom and goes, get comfortable, everybody. We're going to be here for a while. I'm talking about 2 seconds after. So they already knew before they pulled away from the gate that it was going to be a long wait on the runway. They just didn't care. They didn't want to give you the option of not taking the flight. So now we're basically prisoners on this fucking plane, sitting on the runway. We sat there for like 7 or 8 hours on the runway. And for a long time, they wouldn't even let you get up. Like the seatbelt light was on. You know how I feel about the stupid seatbelt lights on planes. They're silly. But they wouldn't even let you get up to use the bathroom. And I'm like, look, it's been 4 hours. I'm either getting up and going and using the bathroom or I'm pissing all over the floor. You choose which one. So eventually, they did let people get up and go to the bathroom. And then eventually they brought that little shopping cart down the aisle and gave everybody a water or a soda or whatever, something to drink. But
only because they were afraid of people falling out from dehydration.
Yeah, right. And the thing was, the whole reason that we had to sit on the runway is because it was too windy to take off, right? So there was like 100 planes on the runway, just like waiting in line, waiting for the wind to die down. But my point is, if they would have told us right before we got on the plane, look, here's the situation. It's high winds right now. We don't know how long it's going to be before we're able to take off, but we're going to put you in this plane and just make you sit there until it's time. Then me and Mrs. Peete would have been like, fuck that. We're getting another night at the casino. We would just stay to another night.
Right. Well, and I've heard this is really bad too, from people that, airlines like intentionally overbook flights.
Yeah.
Just assuming people aren't going to show up, and then somebody ends up completely screwed when they do.
Right, and then that's when they start offering people money for their seat. Just like, and they'll be like, if anybody's interested in selling their seat back to us, we'll pay you 3 times the amount or whatever the cost is.
Well, get you an auctioneer out there.
Yeah. And if you're not in a hurry, it's a good deal. Like, you know, if someone's willing to pay me $1,000 for my seat, you can have it as long as I don't have to be somewhere. Go ahead.
And so that's the thing, getting held up like that, and then chances are you're going to have layovers somewhere. I could probably beat you by 4 hours driving.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, if you got to go somewhere and do a long layover, or you know, weather problem or whatever, yeah, sometimes driving is faster. And at least with driving, you can stop whenever you want and rest and eat and go to the bathroom or whatever. Like on the plane, it's you know.
Get an actual meal.
Yeah, get an actual meal. So.
And then unless you're driving a Tesla, you know, your hands aren't, your life isn't in the hands of a robot like it is on the plane. Autopilot and that.
Yeah.
And I ain't got no interest in a Tesla, so.
So anyway, Vic, you went on the train. That's the last thing you said before you fell off.
Right. Yeah, I got kicked out. Yeah. But yeah. We did the train. Yeah.
So where'd you take the train from, and where did you go to in it?
No, it was just a little mountain train. Yeah.
Oh, so it wasn't like Amtrak. It was just like one of those like tourist E-train things.
Yeah, just went for like, you know, a couple of miles.
Gotcha.
You know,
Gotcha.
just a few miles. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Did you find the Rocky statue while you were in Philadelphia?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. Did you take a picture with it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Nothing like building a statue in your city of a fictional character. That's always good.
Yeah, I know they built the statue for the movie, so. Because in Rocky 3, like the city of Philadelphia, like, built that statue in his honor, so.
Yeah, but Rocky's not a real person. Right. So, I mean, there is that.
But,
you know, I can understand you build a statue of Benjamin Franklin, or, you know,
well, I mean,
like a real person that really contributed to the city of Philadelphia, but no, or maybe even just Sylvester Stallone himself, right? Is he from there? I don't know.
No, I don't think
he's not. Oh, he's not even from there. Well, yeah, forget about it. But Rocky's not real.
It would make more sense for that statue to be on the campus of the University of Miami, considering that's where he went to college.
Yeah, where is Rocky? He's from New York. Okay.
Yeah.
I say Rocky. Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, so maybe they should build a statue of Sylvester Stallone in New York, but not of Rocky in Philadelphia. That's my point. So.
Oh, that statue's been moved a few times.
Has it?
Yeah. Yeah, like after the 4th or 5th Rocky movie, whatever it was, people are like, get that statue out of here. And then they moved it to some museum. People got pissy and they wanted it back where it was.
Outside, yeah.
Where is it at, Vic? Is it at the bottom of those steps or the top of the steps?
Yeah, no, it's at the bottom. Well, it's not even at the bottom. It's like off to the side.
Yeah. Gotcha. Huh.
Like I said, put that statue. The people of Philadelphia don't want it. Move it to University of Miami's campus. They'll find somewhere to stick it.
I didn't even know he went to school there. That's.
Google told me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying you're lying. Just didn't know.
We got in a conversation, and I don't even remember whose show it was, but we just started looking up famous graduates from, you know, UGA, and I was looking up Miami graduates, crap like that, and that's when I found out Sylvester Stallone was the University of Miami.
Yeah, I feel like that might have been on one of the midday shows. I don't remember now.
It may have been. I mean, this was last year.
Yeah.
I've slept since then.
Oh. I gotta go, guys. Yeah, went over a little bit today, 20 minutes over. So. All right, VicTube, I don't know. I would have loved to hear more about your trip, but you came on late. So, yeah. But maybe
More punctual, VicTube.
Yeah, maybe on Wednesday's show you can come back on and tell us about the rest of your trip. How's that sound? Okay.
Ain't got no interest in it, I guess.
I think he's having technical issues. That's what's going on.
You're right.
Yeah. All right. Well, Vic, if you can hear me, buddy, we'll see you later. All right, Slim.
Yes, sir. A pleasure as always.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right, buddy.
Later. There you guys have it. We had a long list of people join us, including Scott Kerr, Colby, Nate the Great, VicTube, Slim Shady Canes. I might be missing somebody. I don't know. Anyway, great show today, guys. I appreciate all of you. Don't forget to check out the Lunch Money Show tonight at 10 p.m. on the Uncle Lou channel. That's it. Have a great Monday, everybody. See you soon.